G'day everyone, thanks for stopping by. The next couple of videos are going to be reasonably short. They're just going to be a couple of product type reviews or just little things that I bought off eBay that I think might be of interest to you. Look, I'm always on eBay, I'm always on Gumtree, I'm always on Facebook buying different stuff, and these things might keep you entertained whilst you're in lockdown. It's certainly something you can order and be, keep an eye on the mailbox for it to arrive, and that might help you get through. Anyway, all of these are going to be useful. Some of these are just going to be purely for entertainment value, but the first one is these butane gas torches. Now this is something that one of my mates actually put me onto. Been a couple of times when I've been out camping with Steve from Mud Ducks Touring, and he's actually pulled one of these out when we've been having difficulty getting the fire started, and I've got to tell you, this is really handy. I got two of these for about 17 bucks. These are a dime a dozen. You can see them in all sorts of different types, and realistically they're all going to do the same job. They work on these cheap butane canisters that we all love and know that you get for those little cooktops. These are about $5 for 4 or thereabouts. You can buy them in bigger packs, but I reckon I've probably got about 10 or so of these, maybe a dozen of these sitting around in the shed, sitting in the four-wheel drive, sitting in the caravan. These things for me are all over the place. I've also got one of those little butane gas heaters that I got from the four-wheel drive super centre, which has been relegated to the shed. Since I installed that diesel heater in the caravan, that thing's never going to come out, and I'm probably going to sell that. I was a bit surprised how this worked actually. I thought the mechanism was going to be slightly different and it was going to hook under this ring, but it doesn't. There's a little tab there so you can locate it, and then you press it down and you rotate it. And what that does, that causes a compression inside that ring to open up and then locks that on. As far as operation, it couldn't be simpler. This little dial on the back regulates the gas, turns it on and off. And this is the little piezo clicker on the front. So you basically open it up just a little bit, hit the trigger, and away you go. Rotate that to turn the gas off, and she'll go out. Now this does heat up quite a bit, so you don't be touching that at the end. Again, look, it's a real simple little product, but it's something that's really handy. If you go camping, caravanning and all that sort of stuff, and in the past you've had issues with getting wet timber lit, I've got to tell you, this thing comes in super handy. You can just apply a heap of heat, really localised, and get that fire started. I consider myself a bit of a good fire maker, and I go through the process of getting the little timber through the big timber, and let the fire take time, make love to the fire, get it going. Then you finally get it going, then you'll have campmates that'll come over and just throw all your wood on. You're thinking, I just spent the last half an hour getting that bastard going, and you just come and throw all the timber on it. Or even worse, I come and throw a heap of timber on it when it's not quite ready, and then put it out and you got to start again. I hate that. So if somebody's tending to, say a bit of advice, if somebody's tending to fire and they're taking their time and they're getting it started, just leave them to it. Don't come over and poke it and do whatever. Just leave the fire alone, let them sort it out. Conversely, if you're the guy setting up the fire, just tell them to piss off. You can obviously use this for melting flux and solder and that sort of stuff if that's what you need it for. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just a real handy little tool and cheap to have in the back of your car or your caravan with a can or two of these. And for getting your wet wood going, fired up, bloody brilliant. And I use this at home now to start my little fires in the backyard in those little burners. It's just so much easier than standing there with a match and trying to light a few points with a match. You just blast it with this thing. Next thing you know, fire's going, jobs are good. So that's it. The princely sum of about 13 bucks or cheaper if you buy more. These are well worth having in the back of the four-wheel drive or the caravan or at home. So I bought a couple, and I'm going to give a few of these away as well to mates. Bloody handy. Thanks guys, catch you on the next one.